what's up, comrades? We're here for number 4 of our delightful Christmas marathon. This one is Deck the Walls. It's another Hallmark movie, and it has the typical kind of Hallmark women, like Botoxy face, or I don't know. I'm not a plastic surgeon, guys, so whatever awful thing these women are doing to themselves to make themselves look less attractive. It is not as bad as the other 2 Hallmark movies, but the movie we talked about last week, the Amish Bakery one, those women are 100 times more attractive because they have far less to none plastic surgery. Now, I'm not a plastic surgery expert, but this one's is slightly less glaring, but it's still obvious just looking at her. And then the other fun thing about this is that, well, there's 2 more fun things that I really enjoyed about this movie. One, that the brother, or the sister, the main character's sister, and her gay brother, hell yeah. That's right, bitches. He's great, actually. He's very femmy, and then, like, he also has, like, a love interest story, which I loved. Because it's very subtle, and then the guy he ends up hooking up with is like just a dude, right? So he's not like over the top, which I love over the top gay dudes in movies, but he's just like a tiny bit like girl, like that. And then the guy he ends up getting with, and we'll get to that when we talk about the plot more in depth here in a moment. But he's much more just like a dude. He's like, "What's up, bro?" Which is facts. I had a buddy in high school who was like a gay dude, and you would never know, until he starts fucking dudes, which he did all the time. But until that point, he's like, "What's up, bitches?" No, he didn't say that. He's like, "What's up, fellas? Let's go hunting. Let's go kill some shit and fish, and then camp out for the weekend." And you're like, "Cool, bro. Sounds good." He's like, "I'm gonna bring my boyfriend," and you're like, "Oh, Lord Christ, why?" Because they were not quiet. Anyway, so that's good. And then the second part is that they're Italian, and they got this like girl they keep referring to as Aunt Gigi, and I did not catch if she's actually like an aunt or something, because obviously their father is Italian. Aunt Gigi makes some comment about being like a adopted Italian or whatever because she bakes too much, which is true. Okay, so we have the main girl, Rose, and then I got confused because the story actually starts with like this other character. It starts with the main love interest. His name is something. Bresson? Is it really Bresson? What? Bryson. Oh, Bryson. It's probably Bryson. White people names. Anyway, so Bryson, stupid. So Bryson is the best friend of Sal, who is the gay brother, and they run like a house flipping company, which is something that Rose, who's the main character, and Sal's parents did. And now we start off with, I don't think I wrote her name down, and yeah, it's not like in my notes. Yeah, I didn't write it down. So Bryson. Yeah, Bryson. That's mostly what it is. Bryson, he, it starts off and he's like hanging out in like middle of nowhere, Colorado, and he runs into this woman, and he's like, "Oh, what are you doing here?" And she's like, "Oh, I'm back, something. And he's like, "Oh, it's kind of nice to see you." And then he talks to Sal, I think, and he says, "Oh man, I ran into what's her name?" And then Sal's like, "Oof," and he's like, "I know, oof." And so at first I thought, I was like, that's the main character, and then we just switch. So it's a weird opening because it starts with the guy, like the love interest, and like his ex relationship. We come to find out that they were like, they got married. Like, this is like his ex-wife, I'm pretty sure. And that later on we find out that she like left him, like divorced him, and then she got together with like a totally different dude. But don't worry, fellas, she got her comeuppance, that bitch, because that guy left her. Ha, suck it. Anyway, it's not really a big plot point, but again, it's like it starts off with that, and then we don't see her for like the entire rest of the movie. And at some point, when Rose comes back to hometown, because Bryson is like the best friend of Sal, then they run a business together now. They like end up, fall in love, obviously. It's a spoiler, I guess. but they have a conversation, and he's like, "Oh yeah," and he tells the story I just told, but like in a little more sad detail. And then later on, he's like she wants to meet up, like the ex-wife, and so they meet up at like a cafe, and she tells him like the sad story, and it's like, "I apologize, I was kind of a bitch," and he's like, "It's cool, I guess we can be friends now," because he's like a gentleman, right? Which I would have been like, "The fuck are you here talking to me about? Good, you got what you deserve, get the fuck out of here." Like, cheating whore. Anyway, but this is a Hallmark movie, so everyone's like, "Oh, that's fine, we can all be friends, like, hope you're doing well and you can move on with life." And And then Rose, I know I'm like skipping way ahead. Rose at this point, Rose and Bryson are like a kind of a couple, almost. You know, they're like almost there. And she overhears like this conversation, and so she thinks he's gonna get back together with his ex-wife. And there's like a whole thing where she's like, "Well, I guess I better just move back to Chicago instead of being here with all the people that I love." And I forgot I was gone for like 2.5 years, and I forgot how much I loved everyone here and how it's nice to be home with family. Because now I'm like a working girl, and I got to like sell my soul to like corporations instead of having like a nice family, being happy for the rest of my life, and then maybe I'll get some cats. Yep. Anyway, so you know, that causes like a little bit of the drift. That's like the second act. What do they call that in like normal movies? It's like the second act slump. That's what it's called. I went to film school. I should know this. So second act slump, right? Because where it's like, oh no, everything seems to be going great. Like, what's gonna happen? It's like, oh, and it's like the most like asinine, like, oh, I saw him talking to his ex-wife in a cafe, so they're probably getting back together because I'm a dumb bitch, and I'm just gonna roll with that and not even ask questions about it. And then he's gonna like, I'm not gonna get mad or throw a tantrum. I'm just gonna leave quietly, like the wallflower that I am. And then he's gonna be like, no, that you got the wrong message. And she's like, oh, thank God. And it was like, wow, that was resolved very quickly. I like that. If you're watching these movies for drama, you're not going to get it. The drama is very surface level and very like washed over because it's all about good vibes and feeling good and people making amends and stuff. Anyway, so okay. So the movie, so Rose she runs like an interior design company, which at some point someone's like the brother's like, I need you to get back here and help me like flip this house because it's like a charity case and it's for Christmas and it's going to be on the news. And she's like, I'm not an interior decorator, I'm an interior designer. And I'm like, the fuck is the difference? And it never is explained. So I guess I could Google it, but I don't want to because I don't give a fuck. But that's what she does. But she decides, you know what? I'm going to go help. Because like her best friend, this fat Asian lady, is like, oh girl, you should go help your family. Family's the most important thing. It's Christmas. She's like, all right, you're right. And then the fat Asian lady later on, when she calls her again about like coming home, she's like, oh, you stupid. And she's like, I owe you a raise. And I was like, hell yeah. She's not super fat. She's just like chunky. She's like Asian fat, if you will. Okay. Where was I? Okay, so she comes to help out, and it's like a disaster. They have like 5 days, and like the mysterious benefactor who's like paying for everything, like has no more money to give, or is not going to give any more money, and the house needs a lot more work. So then they just go like Christmas shopping and go to like a bowling alley for like a dance or a fundraiser or something. And the brother sings like karaoke. Oh no! I think it was an ice skating rink, not a bowling alley. Maybe it's both. I've seen both. And then, you know, slowly over time, like, so at first Bryson is like living in the house the family grew up, like everyone's living in the house. So this Aunt Gigi who owns like a condo someone else and is dating some French trucker. Yep. That comes up like once. So good for her. And the best part, one of the best parts of the movie is Sal, the gay brother, is sitting there and she starts speaking phone calls and she's speaking French. And then she explains the situation and then she wanders off and he's like, good for her. Like that. And I was like, hell yeah, movie. Anyway, so then, you know, so Bryson's living here, Sal's living here, Rose is now trying to stay here, and then Gigi, I guess, is also staying here or something. At some point, we find out that she sold her condo to help them, like, pay for the house flip or whatever, because she's just going to live in the house with everybody else anyway. So it's like, cool, sounds good. And she's delightful. She's like a delightful old woman who just, like, does delightful old woman stuff. And so Bryson is living in like the room that Sal grew up in because Sal's living in like the main room where the parents like used to live. Oh, and the parents are dead. They died in, I don't know, tragic accident a few years ago or something. And that we find out that's the reason that main character girl Rose like has not come back home in like, I think it's 5 years at some point. So college and then like a job. I don't know. These people do not like that old. Like early 30s to the latest. So I guess that could be at the oldest, but I guess that could be 5 years. Anyway, so Bryson's sleeping. So Bryson and Rose share like a bathroom, and there's like hilarity ensues kind of thing where he's like wearing a face mask one morning and she's wearing a retainer, and it's like, oh, those silly, they're just like me and you. And then they have a whole thing about like women take forever to get ready, and she's like, I'll show you. And then she's ready faster than him, and she's like, ta-da. And he's like, oh my gosh, a woman can get fast. I get stupid shit like that. It's so good. It's so fucking good. I love this movie. Oh, goodness. Okay. Oh, man. You should watch this. Look how much fun I'm having. That's all I'm going to say. Like, if you don't think you should watch these shitty Hallmark movies, just listen to the timbre of my voice and how much enjoyment I'm getting just from talking about these when compared to, like, all that shit I play or watch or, like, whatever. Even shit I like. Like, I am not as delighted as, like, when I watch some of this shit. It is, like, so good. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, then like, oh no, something. Oh, she finds some present. Oh, and while they're at the fundraiser, there's like a tiny little bit of a snowstorm, and it like knocks some tree branches into the house, and they have to like redo the roof now, which is like, Lord, that does not take 3 days to finish because I got this thing done in 3 days. Oh, the reason I got to get done in 3 days is because the mayor is like involved for some reason, and that we meet the family, and they're like delightful, and so they come to help like redo the house, and they spend like a whole day just looking for a Christmas tree for the house because that's part of the setup, I guess. And I'm like, okay, but then like they'll be like sitting around, so they'll do that, and they're like, oh, we have no time to do anything, and it's like, bro, you just spent like a whole fucking day at like a tree, like a Christmas tree farm. The fuck. Anyway, don't worry, it all gets done. Oh, and then there's extra pressure because there's this guy from like Denver or whatever who's coming over to do like a news report about it, and then, well, first it's supposed to be like an article in like the Denver Times, but then it becomes like a whole like interview about like charity work and stuff, and we find out the guy is like Sal's like arch nemesis from high school. Dun dun dun. Because apparently Sal, this guy like treated Sal like shit and made fun of him all the time and was like a bully because he was gay, right? And then as like time goes on, like almost immediately upon meeting this guy, you're like, this guy's also gay. Like, there's no world where this movie's being made where this guy is not a homosexual. Like, and so him and like, he kind of flirts with Sal a little bit, but Sal doesn't get it, and he's still like very like timid about the whole situation. And then finally at some point, Sal finds out from Gigi that Sal's family was like super poor. Oh, not Sal, sorry, the news anchor guy. His family was super poor growing up, and that his parents actually like flipped their house for them or rebuilt it like for free, just to like help out because they did these like yearly charity things, which is why Sal's trying to do it again. And then we find out even later that the guy like apologizes for being such a bully to Sal because he thought Sal was being a bully to him because like when the family like fixed the house up, one time like Sal brought food to him at school, and it was in like in front of his friends or whatever, and he was like super embarrassed because it's like you're making fun of me because I was poor. And then like later on he got like therapy with like the school principal or something, and he in high school, and he realized that like he was just being a big asshole and whatnot. And then at some point Sal's like, oh, okay, so you weren't making fun of me because you weren't bullying me because I was gay. And then the guy's like, are you fucking kidding me? And then Sal's like, what? And the guy's like, that'd make me a hypocrite. And then Sal's like, oh. So they smooch later. Good for them. So that's delightful. Okay, yeah, so then the ending is kind of interesting. So the house gets flipped, everything's good, the news report goes great, obviously everything wins. Gigi moves into the house because she sold her condo. And then Bryson ends up moving. He gets like a job offer. It's confusing because him and his buddy have like their house flipping thing in like middle of nowhere, Colorado. But then like this guy's like really good at his job apparently, and like this is one of those like tell don't show aspects where I never see this guy do anything when it comes to like interior decorating or anything that would make him seem like he's competent at his job. People just keep saying how good he is, and so the company that like Rose like works for, because I thought she had her own company too, but apparently she works for somebody. They want to hire him and pay him a lot of money, and so he's going to go do that. Sal's going to keep doing his house flipping thing, but he's going to get assistance from Bryson and Rose. I guess they're going to come back and visit or like help out with the designs and stuff like that, so they can all still be like a family. So she's going back to Chicago, and she's got like this beautiful home that obviously costs like $10 million. And so Bryson's gonna like, I don't have anyone to stay. I'm gonna take this job, and I don't know where I'm gonna live. And she's like, tee hee hee hee. You know exactly where you're gonna stay, big boy. And it's like the end. And that was Deck the Walls. I loved it. It was a fucking delight. So go ahead and watch it, and go ahead and like, share, subscribe this video, and I will catch you guys later. Bye.